Now, obviously, we are here today to talk about the new Simple Minds album. It is called Direction of the Heart. We want to talk about so many more of the tracks, but I want to rewind for a minute and talk about the enthusiasm and how crazy people become at your shows when all of a sudden your big hit from 1985, Don't You Forget About Me, starts being played on stage. Do you just look out there and see people and like a light go off in their eye and they almost go back to being high school seniors themselves in front of you?
Well, I mean, not only that, but there's different generations of high school seniors now I mean, that's just one of these songs that, it's just taken on its own life.
Mhm.
And we just feel very proud to be connected with a record. It was a record that we didn't want to do initially. I don't know if you know the story,
Yeah.
but we were writing songs for a new album. We felt it sounded great. We heard that this guy John Hughes loved Simple Minds and really wanted them to be involved in his movie, and we were like, cool, great. And then as we sat down, it was like, okay, we've got the song we want you to do, and we went, hang on a minute, we do our own songs. And we had just had this thing up our sleeve called Alive and Kicking that we thought was pretty good. And
Mhm.
I remember saying, hang on a minute, you want us in there because you love the band? Yeah. And you love the band because the songs? Yeah. And you don't want us to do our songs? I don't get this. But of course, we were young, we were bratish, we weren't really listening. He did want the sound of Simple Minds, but
Yeah.
they had a song specifically written for the script. And what made us finally get on board, and thank God we did, was when we met both Keith Forsey and indeed John. We just loved them as people. We just really
Yeah.
we loved their vibe. We didn't know them, but we instantly, sometimes you meet people and you just love their vibe. And
Mhm.
Keith's case, he came over to the UK and went down the pub with us and all that. And after 2 days, he's suddenly your best mate and all that. And whereas before we're like, whatever happens, we're not doing the song. 2 days later, you're like, shall we do the song? And thank God we did.
Listen, guys, don't become friends with them. Oh man, they're our best friends. We have to do it.
Exactly. What kind of way is that to treat friends not doing their songs?
How did you first see? How was it presented to you? Your version of the song with the movie? Did you go to the screening? Did they show you an advanced screening? Were you on tour and unable to even stop and see it? Tell me about your first experience seeing.
We saw a kind of work in progress. It was exciting to see these young actors, starting to come through, and you could, it was interesting for us to see again. We understood these different tribes. You've got the jock, you've got the goth,
Mhm.
you've got the girl next door,
Yeah.
you've got seeing they've got the nerd, seeing all these kids come together, and we could see there was the making of something there. Um,
Jim,
um,
who did you identify with? Were you obviously not the girl next door? Who were you in high school?
I would dip in and out of a few things. I could be the jock because we love football and all that. But I was always curious, and I was pretty good. I always got good grades, kind of. When I worked hard, I got good grades. So when I could feel the pressure coming on, I would knuckle down. So a nerd. I was certainly a nerd when it came to music.
Mhm.
And although everyone eventually got into music in class, I was into it first. And not only did I know the bands and who was in the band, I knew what studio they used. I knew who the producer was. I knew who the engineer was. So I was very nerdy about all of that. So I would probably I would have been a blend, Katie, between some of them.